Yes, on the Alaska Tourism Restoration Act, one of the things that environmental groups like Friends of the Earth have said is that the coronavirus-induced pause in big ship cruising has given the government an opportunity to kind of reconsider the environmental impact of cruises and modify the regulations. Is that something that the administration is considering?
I would say the Department of Transportation would oversee any new regulations or recommendations for that as it relates to the cruise industry. So the legislation, as you know, is a positive in our view because it helps reinvigorate an industry that accounts for a great number of jobs in Alaska and jobs that have been on hold for the past year plus.
Maybe more broadly then, is the human impact of the environment something that has been revealed by this pandemic, something that the administration takes into account when it's focusing on the better part of building back better?
The human impact in general
On the environment, yeah.
of the cruise industry?
No, just in general across the board. I think we've seen evidence that the environment has flourished at times because of decrease in industry. Is that something that when you're thinking about building back better is worth taking into account?
Sure. I mean, I think if you look at the American Jobs Plan and proposals the president's put forward, including his ambitious goal of reducing greenhouse gas emissions by 2035, our view is that clean energy jobs, investing in clean energy jobs, which can help the environment, help ensure that we are protecting our Earth for our kids and our grandchildren, can be done simultaneously while creating jobs. So I think that initiative or that viewpoint is central to how the president sees his agenda. And certainly we've seen interesting data, I think that you're alluding to, over the past year as we've seen a slowdown in some industries. But our objective is ensuring that we are investing in a sustainable way to ensure that we can create a system that's creating millions of jobs while also, protecting our environment over the long term.
One other thing on cruises, one of the reasons why they've been able to restart cruises from Washington to Alaska is because these cruise lines are testing people or asking for the vaccination proof from the guests on these cruises. That's something that state law in Alaska and Washington allow them to do, to abide by these CDC guidelines. Florida isn't doing that. Florida's passed a law that prohibits vaccine passports. Does the administration have a view on these kind of laws and the impact that they might be having on the cruise industry in Florida?
We don't. I will say that we are not instituting vaccine passports from a federal level. We certainly understand that industries will make their own decisions about how to continue the work they need to do. Go ahead.